You know, people often ask me, Dick, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could go back? They see a mistake they made, a word they shouldn't have said, a bet they shouldn't have placed, and they think, if I could just turn the clock back 5 minutes, I could fix it. It's a very human feeling. It's a beautiful feeling, really. It shows we care about the outcome. We want to make things right. But the universe is a tough teacher. It doesn't care about our regrets. It doesn't care about our feelings. It cares about the rules. And the rules of the game are very strict. I've spent my whole life looking at these rules, playing with them, trying to find the loose threads, trying to see if I could untie the knot. And when you look at the problem of time, really look at it, not with the eyes of a Hollywood scriptwriter, but with the eyes of a physicist, you find out something startling. You find out that the door to the past isn't just locked. It's not even a door. It's a wall, a solid, impenetrable wall built by the very structure of reality itself. We have to stop fooling ourselves. That's the first principle of science, right? You must not fool yourself. And you are the easiest person to fool. We fool ourselves into thinking time is like a river that we can swim up if we just paddle hard enough. But it's not a river, it's an arrow, and it only points one way. Let's start with something simple. A cup of coffee. You take a nice porcelain cup, you put it on the edge of the table, and you knock it over, smash. The handle breaks off, the coffee splashes onto the rug, the pieces scatter. Now watch that event. It happened. We saw it. But have you ever seen it happen in reverse? Have you ever seen the brown stain lift off the rug, gather itself into a liquid, jump back into the cup, and the ceramic shards fly up from the floor and fuse perfectly together without a crack, landing gently on the table? No, you haven't. And I can tell you with absolute certainty you never will. Why? Is there a law of physics that says atoms can't move that way? Actually, no. If you look at the equations of motion for a single atom, they work just as well forward as backward. If you record a billiard ball hitting another billiard ball and play it backward, it looks perfectly natural. But when you have billions and billions of atoms, something else takes over. Chaos takes over. Disorder takes over. We call this entropy. It's the second law of thermodynamics, and it's the sheriff of the universe. It says that things move from order to disorder, always. The cup on the table was ordered. The smashed pieces on the floor are disordered. There are only a few ways for the cup to be whole, but there are an infinite number of ways for it to be broken. Nature loves the infinite options. Nature loves the mess. To go back in time, to reverse that event, you would have to convince every single atom, every molecule of air that vibrated with the sound of the crash, every photon of heat that left the coffee, to turn around and march back into formation. And you would have to reverse the entropy of the universe. And the universe is very stubborn. It likes its mess. It likes its heat spreading out. It likes its stars burning down. We are falling through time, falling from a state of high order, the Big Bang, toward a state of total disorder. You can't stop the fall, and you certainly can't fall upward. So right there, before we even build a machine, the arrow of time is telling us, no entry, one-way street. But let's say you're stubborn. I like stubborn people. Let's say you tell me, Feynman, I don't care about the coffee cup. I just want to jump back 10 minutes and not say that stupid thing to my boss. You want to build a machine, a box. You climb in, you twist a dial, and you step out 10 minutes ago. All right? Let's think about that. Let's look at the geometry of it. You see, we live on a stage, but the stage isn't sitting still. The stage is moving, and it's moving fast. If you sit in your chair right now, you feel still, but you're not. The Earth is spinning. It's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. It's orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. And the sun, it's dragging the whole solar system around the center of the galaxy at 500,000 miles an hour. And the galaxy is rushing through the universe at over 1,000,000 miles an hour. So you sit in your time machine. You turn the dial back 10 minutes. You press the button. You travel through time, but you don't travel through space. You stay in the same coordinates. 10 minutes ago, the Earth wasn't here. 10 minutes ago, the Earth was thousands of miles away along its orbit. If you step out of your machine, you don't step into your office. You step into the vacuum of space. You suffocate. You freeze. You die. Hollywood forgets this. They think space and time are separate things. They think you can move through one without worrying about the other. But Einstein taught us better. It's space-time, one fabric. To travel back in time, you would have to calculate the exact position of the Earth in the past. But position relative to what? The sun. The sun moved too. The galaxy, it moved too. There is no anchor in the universe. There is no hook you can grab onto and say, Hold this spot while I go back. Everything is drifting. Everything is flying apart. To hit the Earth 10 minutes ago would be like trying to shoot a bullet from a spinning merry-go-round and hit a fly on a moving train 3 miles away. The precision required isn't just hard, it's physically impossible because there is no absolute grid to measure against. So the machine kills you. That's a problem, but let's go deeper. Let's talk about the speed limit, the cosmic traffic cop. We know from relativity that time is flexible. It stretches. If you go fast, really fast, close to the speed of light, your time slows down. You could get in a rocket, fly around a black hole, come back, and 1,000 years have passed on Earth while only a few hours passed for you. That's time travel, but it's time travel to the future. It's a one-way ticket. You can see the future, but you can't come back to tell us about it. To go backward, the math suggests you'd have to go faster than the speed of light, and here nature puts up her hand and says, stop. Nothing with mass can reach the speed of light. Not a spaceship, not an electron, not a grain of sand. As you go faster, you get heavier. Your energy turns into mass. To get to the speed of light, you would need infinite energy. Think about that word, infinite. Not a lot, not all the energy in the sun. Infinite. It means there isn't enough juice in the entire cosmos to push you across that line. The universe has a speed limit, and it protects the past. It prevents you from outrunning the light that carries the image of now. But the thing that really bothers me, the thing that keeps me up at night when I'm playing with these equations, is the paradox. The logic of it. Nature is logical. It may be strange, it may be quantum, it may be probabilistic, but it is consistent. It doesn't contradict itself. A thing cannot be and not be at the same time. But time travel, it's a paradox factory. The classic one is the grandfather paradox. You know it. You go back in time, you kill your grandfather before he meets your grandmother. So your father is never born. So you are never born. So you never build the time machine. So you never go back to kill him. So he lives. So you are born. So you go back. Round and round, a loop, a glitch in reality. The universe doesn't like loops because must come before effect. The match must be struck before the fire burns. The glass must fall before it breaks. If you switch them, if you put the effect before the cause, the whole structure of logic collapses. Imagine you have a phone that calls the past. You call yourself 5 minutes ago and say, don't pick up the phone. If you don't pick up the phone, you never get the call. If you never get the call, you pick up the phone. What happens? Does the universe explode? Does the screen go blue? Some people say, maybe the timeline branches. Maybe you create a new universe. But that's just cheating. That's not solving the physics. That's running away from the problem into a fantasy land of infinite universes. In this universe, the one we live in, information has to be consistent. You cannot have information that destroys its own origin. It's like trying to draw a square circle. It's not that you don't have the right pencil. It's that the concept itself is nonsense. The universe allows for many strange things, entanglement, tunneling, superposition, but it does not allow for nonsense. And this brings us to the hardest truth of all. The one that isn't about math, but about existence. We are trapped. We are trapped in the now. We are riding on the edge of a wave that is crashing forward, and we can never turn back to see the ocean behind us. We only have this moment. The past is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It's not a place you can visit. It's just a memory, a pattern of neurons in your brain, a record in a book, a fossil in the ground. The physical reality of yesterday has dissolved into the entropy of today, and you might think that's sad. You might think, what a prison, I'm stuck in the present. But I look at it differently. I think it's a gift, because if you could go back, if you could rewrite the past, then this moment, this exact heartbeat, this breath, this thought wouldn't matter. It would be a draft, a rehearsal. You could always hit undo, you could always fix it, but because you can't go back, this moment is infinite in its value. It is absolute. It is the only reality we have. The universe is telling us something very important. It's telling us to pay attention. It's telling us that actions have consequences that ripple out forever. It's telling us that we are part of a great unfolding story that is being written in permanent ink, not pencil. You can't erase. You can only write the next line. So when you look at the stars or you look at your own life, don't wish for a time machine. Don't wish for a way to undo the things that hurt or the mistakes you made. Those mistakes are part of the structure of reality now. They are part of you. Instead, look at the beauty of the mechanism. Look at how the entropy drives the stars to shine. Look at how the speed of light connects us to the cosmos but keeps us humble. Look at how the arrow of time forces us to grow, to change, to become something new. We can't go back. And frankly, I wouldn't want to. The mystery is ahead of us, not behind us. The unknown is what makes science and life worth living. So let's keep going forward. It's the only way the universe lets us go. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly the way it should be.